You know, there are these peculiar faculties of the psyche, showing that it isn't entirely confined to space and time. You can have dreams or visions of the future. It's quite evident that they do exist and have always existed. These facts demonstrate that the psyche, at least in part, is not dependent upon these dimensions. Synchronistic phenomena prove the simultaneous occurrence of meaningful equivalences in heterogeneous, causally unrelated processes. In other words, they prove that a content perceived by an observer can, at the same time, be represented by an outside event without any causal connection. Carl Jung, 1875-1961. Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung, an analytical psychologist, introduced the concept of synchronicity. He used it to describe situations where events appear meaningfully related but don't have a direct causal relationship. Synchronicity experiences refer to those moments when coincidences between your thoughts and external events seem deeply connected, even though there's no obvious cause linking them. In a world full of mysteries, some occurrences defy explanation. Join us as we explore the fascinating realm of synchronicity and coincidence. Certainly, here's a refined version. From the incredible story of Paul and Esther to the groundbreaking theories of Alfred Wegener and Carl Jung, we'll explore the hidden connections that shape our lives. These synchronicities become evident when we choose to understand and embrace them. Paul had just started dating Esther and was thinking of asking her to be his girlfriend. While buying a sandwich at a deli, he noticed a dollar bill with the name Esther on it. It struck him as odd that he'd see her name right as he was considering their relationship. Instead of spending it, he took the bill home, which was unusual for him. He thought it would be a funny gift for Esther and framed it, planning to give it to her when he asked her to be his girlfriend. When Esther unwrapped the framed dollar, she didn't laugh. She was stunned and seemed confused. After a moment of silence, Paul admitted that her reaction wasn't what he expected and asked if something was wrong. Esther reassured him everything was fine and agreed to date him exclusively. 2 years passed without any mention of the dollar bill. Their relationship deepened, and Paul proposed. They got married, and it wasn't until they moved into their new home that Paul saw the dollar bill again. He was surprised Esther had kept it all this time. Finally, Esther revealed why she reacted the way she did when he gave it to her. When she was 19 and in an unhappy relationship, Esther doubted true love existed. During her breakup, she decided to leave her fate to the universe. She wrote her name on 10 $1 bills and told herself, "If I'm meant to find true love, one of these bills will end up with the man I'll marry." So, when Paul gave her the dollar bill with her name on it, she knew she would marry him but kept this to herself early in their relationship. It's an incredible story. And now, Paul and Esther have been married for over 19 years and have 3 children. One of the easiest ways to brush off an idea is by saying, it's just a coincidence. But how can we really tell if something is just a coincidence? Even scientists grapple with this question. When you think of a scientist, you might picture a very logical person who relies on facts and observations above all else. But that's not always how it works. Let me explain. Think back to the first time you saw a picture of the Earth. You probably noticed that the continents look like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that fit together. They appear this way because, millions of years ago, they were all part of a supercontinent called Pangaea. About 100 million years ago, Pangaea started to break apart, and the pieces drifted away from each other, forming the continents as we know them today. This concept is known as continental drift. This idea seems obvious to us now, but there was a time when it wasn't clear at all, even to scientists. In the early 1900s, most scientists didn't believe that continents could move. To explain the matching coastlines of Africa and South America, many scientists thought there was once a massive land bridge connecting the 2 continents, a bridge that mysteriously vanished without leaving any evidence. Alfred Wegener, a geophysicist, believed Africa and South America looked like puzzle pieces because they were once part of a big continent. He checked rocks and fossils from both coasts and found they were very similar. In 1912, he shared his theory of continental drift. You'd think scientists would agree with Wegener's evidence, but they didn't. Most called it a coincidence. Wegener's idea was so controversial that a group even tried to prove it wrong. Consider this. Scientists who are supposed to be logical rejected Wegener's idea simply because they didn't like it, despite substantial evidence. It took almost 40 years for them to accept his theory. This shows that Africa and South America fitting together wasn't just chance. There are many examples like this in science. It should make us doubt when experts call something just a coincidence. As Percy Williams Bridgman, a physicist, said, "Coincidence is what you have left over after you've applied a bad theory." This matches with what Arthur Schopenhauer, a philosopher, thought about truth going through 3 stages. This means we should be careful about dismissing things as just a coincidence. It also affects our everyday experiences that we might quickly label as coincidental. Greg Lavoie once said, "When you're on the right path, the universe winks and nods at you from time to time just to let you know." Once you start noticing these little cosmic clues and realize you're on a path, you'll see them everywhere. These clues are what Swiss psychologist Carl Jung called synchronicity. In 1952, Jung explained in a paper that just as we connect events by cause and effect, we can also connect them by meaning. Synchronicity occurs when there's a meaningful coincidence, where an external event aligns with an internal thought or feeling. This often happens when you're thinking of something and then notice something related to it almost immediately. For example, when Paul Gratchen was thinking about Esther and suddenly saw a dollar bill with her name on it. Why does this happen? Jung believed that life isn't a series of random events, but an expression of a deeper order he called unus mundus. This concept is similar to Pythagoras' idea that everything in the universe is connected by a fundamental structure of numbers. According to Jung, we're all part of a network that gives us a sense of universal wholeness. This realization isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a spiritual awakening. Jung says that synchronicity works like dreams, aiming to shift our conscious thinking, to connect with a greater universal awareness. He doesn't deny that coincidences happen, but he emphasizes that some coincidences are so meaningfully connected and improbable that they're almost impossible to explain. That's why we shouldn't ignore synchronicities when they occur. We should pay close attention to them. For instance, if you dream about someone and then run into that person the next day, ask yourself why this person is appearing in your life now. What does it mean? And what's the message you're supposed to receive? This idea takes us beyond the material world, suggesting a deeper, unseen order in the universe. In a broader sense, our whole universe and life itself can be seen as an almost impossible coincidence. Many scientists have noted that the physical laws around us seem perfectly arranged to support life. There are mathematical constants in nature, like the speed of light and the strength of gravity, that are just right for our universe to contain life. If these numbers were even slightly different, the universe could collapse or lack the necessary elements for stars or planets to form. It's a question worth asking. Is it just a coincidence that the laws of nature and the mathematical constants in the universe are exactly what they need to be to support life? This question has led many scientists to the idea of a fine-tuned universe. Digging deeper, we encounter another type of synchronicity related to numbers. According to numerology, when certain numbers repeatedly appear in your life in different ways, it's not an accident. It's happening for a reason. Just like a recurring dream can be a message from your subconscious, a number you keep seeing can be a message from the universe. Whether you choose to pay attention to that message is up to you. In numerology, these recurring numbers are called angel numbers, and they can offer valuable insights into the opportunities around you. So, the next time you keep seeing the same number, remember, it might be more than just a coincidence. These, who many refer to as angel numbers, could be guiding you towards amazing opportunities. Pay attention to the signs, and you might unlock something extraordinary. Have you experienced any strange or beautiful coincidences? Share your stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.